Welcome back to Study With Additti. My name is Additti and this channel is dedicated to revision tips and tricks along with much more to help make your schooling life a whole lot easier. So today I'm going to be talking about how to revise over this May half term. It obviously falls in exam season and I know a lot of people are doing GCSEs and A-levels right now. So personally, last year when I was doing my GCSEs, I used this time quite well and I planned every single step of the way, but I'm going to go a bit more into how I did it all and the tips that I have for you. And this video is kind of merged with the last minute revision tips and tricks video, but it's focused on this GCSE A-level half term that falls between exam season. So let's get into it. By the way, I have notes with me, so if I look down at any point, that is why. So as I just said, you need to plan. You need to prioritise your subject based on how comfortable you feel with each one, and also based on what you're going to be doing for A-level or further education. So I did music at GCSE, but I'm not doing it at A-level right now. There was no point in me really trying for music when I wasn't going to be taking it. For French or geography, which I am taking right now, it'd make more sense to really try and get the highest grade possible. So same for you. But yeah, that's the first planning prioritization thing you need to sort out. But within your subject, you also need to prioritize every single day of the half term, but depending on whether you're doing revision every single day. And obviously it depends on how much you've already done, whether you feel comfortable not revising certain days. If you want to revise every single day, go for it. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. But make sure you know that you're doing a good amount and that you feel satisfied. Anyway, so what I did was I made like a little calendar, and to be honest, you could just print out like a weekly calendar if you want, but I just like wrote like Monday the 26th, I think that's today's date. Anyway, and then like Tuesday 27th or whatever. And I wrote every single day of the half term. Well, actually for me, I did it the week before my exams, so that wasn't half term, but let's say I did it during the half term just to make it easier. So then after that, you need to put things that you want to achieve on that day. It's kind of a to-do list that you're preparing in advance. It's also kind of like a revision timetable in that matter, but you're free to do that like task, if you will, whenever throughout the day. So you're not bounded by the time. So say I needed to go over regeneration and tectonics notes for geography, I'd put those two on Monday, and then I don't know, go over French grammar on Tuesday, that sort of thing. So you have a clear plan of what you're going to revise each day. So that way, when you have planned it all in advance, you can have more time for revision on that day, because you're not like experiencing decision fatigue, I think it's called. And also don't make your to-do lists really long, because honestly, if you put like 6 things on them, chances are you're not going to be able to achieve it. To prevent you feeling like you haven't done anything, don't put too much on there. Put like a satisfactory, like moderate amount on there. And also plan it carefully in terms of your exam timetable, but don't fall into the trap of like spending your entire half term preparing for the first exam back, because you will have neglected all the other exams afterwards. Kind of like balance it out. Related to planning and prioritization, try and do one of these two methods. So the first method is prioritizing weak subjects or weak topics within subjects, because that will get you up to the mark that you should be at for each topic / subject, and it can obviously bring up your marks in the exam, provided that those topics come up. The second method is, instead of doing that, strengthen the topics that you already know. And the advantage of this is that for the weaker topics, you're likely to spend a longer time trying to learn them, trying to revise them. Whereas with the stronger topics, you'll get it more quickly. And if you have more strong topics, then you can go over them more, you can really get them in your head. But I think that really just depends on what you prefer. I think personally I do a mixture of both, but I think it definitely does depend on you and what you think is better for your revision. Another revision tip that I would give, and that I've seen on a number of YouTube channels and websites, is making summary notes for each topic. These are really, really good against full-fledged notes because they are much easier to digest, especially in a very short space of time, which, to be honest, half term is basically last minute revision, so this is really what you want to do. Personally, I call them cheat sheets, and for me, I do them really, really roughly. As long as it's legible, it's fine for me. And to be honest, I'd like suggest the same for you. Don't spend all your time making them colourful, highlighting them. Okay, if you are highlighting them a bit for like understanding, that's okay, but don't try and make them pretty or anything. So one of the comments I saw on a YouTube video was make them A6, so like I think that's like flashcard size, so a topic on a flashcard, that's really, really good. Personally, I call them cheat sheets because you can look at them straight before an exam and you like know all the content for each topic, and it's just much easier than carrying like a folder full of notes just before your exam. Also, for these summary notes, you can put like acronyms on them to save space, and also just to remember things, especially for your short-term memory. I think acronyms are really, really good. Now the next tip is a tip that I think most of you will be familiar with, and that is doing exam style questions. So that is mainly for exam technique, but you're also applying your content, so it's the best of both worlds really. And also it can be really good for exam technique for longer style questions. So for me, I think the exam technique is really important in geography and economics, where you have 15-20 markers, and it's all about knowing how many points you have to make, the intro or conclusion, do they have to actually be there, you know, that sort of thing. Genie is really good for maths questions. Physics and maths tutor is really good for maths, physics obviously. I think economics as well, geography. I'm not sure about the rest, but I definitely know it's a brilliant site, and to be honest, most of my maths practice questions have come from there, and I fully just have like a stack of maths questions. That's how many they have, and it's specific to my exam board as well. Honestly, they should just sponsor me at this point, but you know. But yeah, that site is really, really good, so please do use it. And another way you can do exam questions if you're really pressured for time is, instead of actually doing all the questions by hand, you can write next to the question what you would do for that question and then check it against the mark scheme. So that way you don't spend time actually doing the question when you know how to do it anyway. But the problem with this is that while you think you may know something, you might actually not. So don't take this as a shortcut unless you are really, really pressured for time. Okay, now just a few more general tips about half-term revision and last-minute revision. Try and avoid distractions. I know this is like 100% easier said than done, but procrastination is so deadly for this half-term because you don't have that much time. So you need to make sure that you manage that time wisely. These exams aren't going to last forever, so you might as well revise when you need to revise, and you have the entire summer ahead of you to do whatever you like. And also, try and figure out what time of the day you're most productive. If you're most productive in the morning, don't waste time sleeping. Just try and get up and get started with your day. But if you're more of a late night person who does like work late night, then spend more time in the morning sleeping but stay up later. However, don't ruin your sleep schedule. Honestly, make sure that you are taking care of your health, mental health and physical health. And also, last thing, keep your motivation up. I know it's hard. I know, especially if you're on that last exam, you're preparing for the last one, you can lose motivation. I personally did a few days ago. I was just like, no, I spent an evening doing nothing because I was just like, I'm done with this now. But honestly, if you keep that motivation up, you'll really thank yourself afterwards. It's honestly not long until the end of exams now, so really do keep up that motivation. And if you're losing the motivation, try and watch like YouTube videos, like motivational YouTube videos, because I find they can really help. Okay, some of them may be cringy, but like if you watch them open-mindedly, I think they can really boost your mood and set you up with a really positive mindset to do your work. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, and also hit the bell icon while you're at it. Also, like this video if you found it helpful. Also, where did you find my channel? Comment down below because I really do want to know. So again, thank you for watching and goodbye.